Hey guys, so at around I'd say like 4 or 5 p.m. in when you do van life in Spain or Portugal, and I'm right now in Portugal close to Spain, the heat gets unbearable. Like especially in the afternoon around 4 or 5 because the whole van has heated up sufficiently. So in any case, I I'm gonna need a bunch of testers for the Android version, and I put the link of the Android on the BlizzCard's website, but also here in the description. And I would love if you try to join. I think it needs me to manually add email addresses. I'm not sure, but it would help me a lot if you join in with the BlizzCards thing. And then I was thinking about, I watch a lot of Dragon's Den, and there is Dragon's Den, then there is Shark Tank, which Shark Tank I didn't watch that much, but I watched Dragon's Den a lot because I like watching Peter Jones. I watched Shark Tank a little bit, and then there's one in Germany which I haven't seen so far at all, but I watch a lot of Dragon's Den. I love the show, and I was wondering if Bliss Cards could one day be in front of Dragon's Den. And to be quite honest, I don't think I would do it unless I have the feeling that the person that is investing has tremendous reach in terms of like, see, if you are, and this is something interesting, so if you do, say, 100,000 in revenues, and the next year you do 300,000, just imagine, okay? Then why would you necessarily want, and you're profitable, why would you necessarily want someone taking 30% or 20% of your business? That only makes actually sense if you have nothing, and then you can do the calculation. So say you give up 20% of your business, but at the end of next year you have like 2 or 3 million in revenues, where before you had maybe like 1,000. That's where it makes sense. But if you're already growing at a very fast pace, unless you have capital expenditures which are super like important, like buying machinery, but even then it would be smarter to do crowd lending, or crowd lending. This type of VC raising makes only sense if you suddenly can make such a huge jump in revenues that that the percentage you lose makes up for it. So if suddenly you go into the millions, otherwise sometimes I don't really understand the people seek. For example, there was this Perfect Ted 100% didn't need Steven, I think it was Steven, to be on their VC board. They didn't need to give up that many percentages. But I think you shouldn't be doing, the thing is, it's not just about money, because you shouldn't be thinking so much about the money, more about the success of the product. But the problem is control of the company, because as soon as someone has more than 10%, they start to have control of the company, and that's the bigger problem. So they can eventually they can take away your IP and all kinds of other stuff. Whereas if you do crowd lending, you just pay back your lenders, and the good thing is those lenders are then your biggest promoters as well, if they know what they're putting their money into. I guess so. If it's just for capital expenditures or cash flow reasons, I wouldn't go with a venture capitalist. It makes only sense if he's like a smart money that he can literally like blow it up like crazy. But I'm not doing Bliss Cards for money. I'm doing it because I want literally the core mission, which is to get a positive message out every day to every person on earth, to make that like go in direction of reality. So that's gonna be super interesting, and I have so many ideas around it. It's gonna be super interesting. So feel free to subscribe and try the Android version, because I need like 15 regular testers before this can be live published, and if you cannot access it, let me know.